Good morning, students. Welcome back to the third and the last session of the chapter ORU MANUSHYAN, written by Vaikom Muhammad Bashir. So in our previous class, we learned that author had been to a restaurant to have a meal and the bill came up to 11 annas. When he puts his hand inside the pocket in order to take the money or in order to pay the bill, he realizes that his purse was missing. His purse was stolen by a thief. Without realizing that his purse was stolen, he had his meal and a cup of tea. And when he realizes, instead of running away from the place or from that problem, he approached the problem by going straight away to the owner, saying that he has lost his purse, that somebody had taken his purse. He assumes that he thought that owner would understand his situation or his plight. But instead of understanding his situation, he will humiliate, he will insult, he will make fun of the author in front of so many people in the restaurant, at the restaurant. Instead, the author asks him to remove his coat, shirt, shoes and trousers. When he was asked to remove all this, he feels embarrassed. He will remove his coat, shirt and shoes. But when he had to remove his trousers, he was so much reluctant to remove his trousers because he had nothing underneath. He tells the same to the owner, but he makes fun of him along with other 50 people in the restaurant that there is something underneath or there is something inside the trouser. That's why he's not removing his trousers. He had no option than to listen to the owner. So till here we had stopped. We'll see what will happen in the lesson. We'll continue the lesson. Students, open page number 34. I began to undo one by one the buttons of my trousers. Then I heard a voice. Stop, I shall pay the money. We saw that author was not just embarrassed but also humiliated in front of so many people. Since he's not a cheat, it must have been terribly embarrassing for him to have realized that he had eaten his food at restaurant but had no money to pay. So people like Bashir, it is quite very difficult to digest the fact that his purse is not there but he has eaten the food at the restaurant. The speaker now resigned to his fate and starts unbuttoning his trousers, imagining himself standing naked in front of so many people with his eyes out. As he was about to remove his trousers completely, then he will hear somebody saying that stop, that he would pay the bill. A stranger announces that he would pay the bill. Oh, you cannot even imagine the plight of this author. So he was so relaxed that there is at least one kind or a good soul in the entire city to stop him from being humiliated further. Everyone turned in the direction of the voice. There stood a fair-complexioned man, 6 foot tall, with a red turban and white trousers. He sported a handlebar mustache and had a blue eyes. When some total stranger announces that he would pay the bill, everyone started turning towards the man. So he was quite very fair. He was a fair complexioned man and he was 6 foot tall. He was 6 foot tall and he was wearing a red turban. So red turban is a headgear So he was wearing a red turban with a white trousers, and his eyes were blue, and also he was sported, or he was wearing a mustache which is curved upwards, slightly upwards. Blue eyes were quite common at this place. He came forward and asked the restaurant keeper, "How much did you say it was?" 11 annas. He paid the amount. He turned to me and said, "Put on your clothes." I put them on. So these blue eyes were quite common in that place. Stranger goes directly to the owner and he will ask, "How much did you say that he has to pay?" The owner will say it is 11 annas. So without any hesitation, he will take out 11 annas and he will give it to the owner of the restaurant. And he will turn towards the author, asks him to wear his clothes. The author wears his clothes. He will put his clothes on. "Come," he called me. I went with him. Did I have words to express my gratitude? I told him, "You have done a great deed. I have not seen a finer man." So, after paying 11 annas to the owner, this stranger, a 6 foot tall man, asks him to go along with him. So, the author, he goes with him. While he was going, he had no words to express his gratitude. He felt as if he got his life back again. So he will go towards him and he express his words of gratitude, saying that, "I have never seen such a fine man in the entire city." And he will appreciate the concern which he showed towards the author. He laughed. "What's your name?" he asked. I told him my name and where I came from. I asked the man his name. He said, "I have no name." I said, "In that case, Mercy must be your name." So when author tells him that he has not seen such a fine man in his life, especially in that city, the 6 foot tall man or a stranger will laugh at it and he will ask the author his name. Author tells his name and also he will tell from where he has come from. After telling the name and where he came from, he will also ask the stranger his name. When author asks the stranger his name, he says that he don't have any name. He says, "I have no name. I don't have any name." When he says that he has no name, instantly he will say, it means if you have no name, then Mercy should be your name. So author will name that 6 foot tall man or a total stranger, or he will call that man as Mercy. He did not laugh at that. We walked until we reached a deserted bridge. He looked all around. There was no one. "Look, you must go away without turning around. If anyone asks you whether you have seen me, you must say no." I understood. Author named this strange man as Mercy. He did not laugh at that. Instead, they walked quietly till they reached deserted bridge. Deserted in the sense empty, where there are no people. After reaching a deserted bridge, he looks around. He will make sure that no one is around. After making sure that no one is around, he tells him that you should go without turning back. Without turning around, you should go. And if anyone asks about me, then you should say, that you have not seen me or you have not met me, like that you should say, like that he will teach him. Author will understand that there is something fishy. He took out from his various pockets about 5 wallets. 5 among them was mine. Which of these is yours? I pointed to my wallet. Open it. I opened it. My money was there intact. I put it in my pocket. He told me, go. May God help you. I repeated, may God help you. After making sure that no one is around, he will take out 5 wallets. He shows to the author and asks, which is yours? When author saw his wallet among 5 other wallets, he will be stunned, he will be speechless. He will point towards his wallet. So when author pointed at his wallet, he gives the wallet which has been identified by the author. When he checks his wallet, he could see his money intact. His money was not taken from his purse. He realizes the stranger himself, the stranger itself is the thief. It is the stranger who had stolen his purse. And the same stranger is the one who paid 11 annas at the restaurant. So after giving the purse or a wallet, he leaves the place saying that he be helped by God. In return, author also will say that God would help the stranger too. So thus we can see the stranger not only helped author in a hotel by giving his own amount. He did not take money from author's wallet. Instead, he will pay his own amount. He not only helped the author by paying the amount, he also returns the purse without taking any money from that purse. So this is how the act of kindness gains in significance. So there was a transformation in the thief. Maybe until this incident, he was not a witness to the problem he created for the people from whom he had stolen the purse. Maybe he had never seen or he never come across people suffering because of him. Maybe this was the first incident that he witnessed people suffering because of his act or because he had stolen their purse. So this is why, despite the fact that people at that place were merciless or cruel, we see a transformation taking place in the heart of that thief. Though he stood at a distance and watched the entire drama, he was not cruel by nature. He understood the predicaments of the victim and rescued him. So this is about the embarrassing movement which he experienced. That's why he says that he has vague notions about human being. So it is quite very difficult to understand the nature of human being. So this is about the chapter ORU MANUSHYAN. Thank you, students.